Hello children, I am Archana. Welcome to my channel Classroom for Class 10th. Today I am going to start the second chapter of our social studies, that is Ideas of Development. So what do you mean by the title of our lesson? Ideas of Development. What do you mean by development? Development means a gradual progress over time. We all want to develop both financially and socially. In a family, the head of the family wants good income so that he can run the family and he can increase the standard of living. On the same time, he also wants to be in a place which is very safe, secure, and there should be no discrimination, and he should have freedom. So there are different aspects of development. So today we are going to study all the aspects of development. So let us start. So children, our today's topic is ideas of development. What development promises different people different goals. We can see that in a family also different people have different aspirations. Now I have taken the example of a girl and a boy in a family. What is the aspiration of a girl in a family? To complete the education, to be independent, to earn money so that she should have acceptance in the family, and she wants to share the household work with her brother. So these are the aspirations of a girl in a family. And at the same time, what is the aspiration of a boy? He wants to complete his higher education, he wants to go abroad and to earn more money so that he can give support to his family, he can take care of his parents when they will become very old. So this way, in the same family, the aspirations of a brother and a sister is different. Now I have taken the example of an area where both the industrialist is there and a farmer is there. Both of them have different aspirations. Industrialist would want big dam so that he can get electricity for 24 hours so that he can run his industry. At the same time, farmer would want a small check dam so that he can irrigate his land. He would want high school in his area, and at the same time he also wants to be a bank so that he can take a loan whenever he wants. So I can see that is in a small area or in a small community, different people have different aspirations. So let us see a table which is in our textbook page number 14. So here is a table in which the column has been given for landless rural laborers. What is their goal and what is their aspiration? More days of work and better wages, a local school, and so that he can be able to provide quality education for their children, so and so. And we can see prosperous farmers. What is his aim and his aspiration? Achieved high income, family income through higher support price for their crops, and through hard working and cheap laborers should be able to settle their children abroad. So these are the aspirations of prosperous farmers. In the same way, we have another column. Here we can see farmers who depend only on rain for growing crops. What is his aspiration? His aspiration is assured minimum income, minimum support price for their crops. So in the same way, children, we have some other people in a country or in a state who have some different aspirations. Now take an example of urban unemployed youth. What is his aspiration? He would like to get a job in a government sector, for time being at least getting a small job in private sector. Now students, open textbook page number 15 and we can see a picture in which there are some hunters and gatherers, and then we can see some people, those who have done farming, and then we can see a wheel. So what conclusion we can draw from this picture? That the people remained hunter and gatherers for a long period of time. So the development was very less for a long period of time. Then we start cultivation. That was a small period of time. But when the wheel was discovered, then we started a real development and progress. So the people remain hunter and gatherers for a long period of time. Then people become agriculturists for a short period, and then they developed and they discovered wheel. So in this way we have a development and progress over time. Now students, we have one picture in textbook page number 16. Protest at Kundakulam nuclear power project. Why this protest is? When the government is trying to supply energy for all the people, so that there should be 24-hour electricity in a town or in a village or in a small city also, then why there is a protest? So here also we can say that development for one group can't be development for the other group. People started protesting because they thought that there should be a disaster consequence if a nuclear power plant will be started in this area, that is Kundakulam in Tirunelveli in Tamil Nadu. That is called Kundakulam nuclear power project. This project had a high inspiration, and it has a high aspiration for supplying energy and to fulfill the energy for all the people of that area. But it was protested by the environmentalists, by the local people, that by the fishermen and the folk, because they understood that this nuclear power project may pollute the water and the air too, and the fishing area can be polluted, which is the livelihood of the fishermen of that area. Now here in the same page we have a newspaper report. So children, you can read and understand what this article mean. This article came in the newspaper Hindu in 2006. It was said by Baiju Narawane of South Africa, and he said that a few months or a few years ago, a company dumped some 500 tons of liquid toxic waste into an open air, and the company was a multinational company. It got some money by the local head and got the permission to dump the poisonous cane to the coastal area of Ivory Coast. The fumes from the highly toxic waste caused nausea, skin disease, rashes, fainting, diarrhea, etc. 7 persons died and 20 were in the hospital, and 26,000 treated for symptoms of poisoning. So this was the fate of the local people. So when the development is hampering the health and the comfort of the people, then it can't be said as a development. If the development of one group is curbing the freedom or some putting harm to the other group of people, can't be considered as development. Now students, we have another heading, income and other goals. What is the other goals that a person wants to achieve other than income? That is, the first point is regular work. Any person would want to have a regular work so that he can have a regular salary and better wages. Not only work, but he should be paid handsome salary so that he can run a family, and decent price for crops. If a person is a farmer, then he would certainly want decent price for his crops. Now these are the things that can help you in earning a money to run a family. That is the money, financial aspects. This development is concerned with the financial aspect. Now come to the other aspect. What is the other aspect? Equality. People would certainly want to be treated equally where he or she works. He also wants freedom, that there should be a freedom, there should be no discrimination, there should be respect and security of job. So these are the other things that a person wants and achieve that his or her aspiration when he or she is earning money. So not only earning money is the aim, but at the same time the other aspect is equality, freedom, respect, security and indiscrimination where he or she is working. So students, we have seen that apart from the financial aspects, we have social aspects also considered in the matter of development. Now, when we consider development, then we have another thing, that is what can't be measured. Suppose we are only measuring the things that is the financial aspect, that is how much money we are earning, how much comfort we are getting with that money, that can be measured. But what is not measured is also very important. Like for an example, friendship. It is not adding to our financial development, but it is very important in our day-to-day life. So in the same way, freedom, security, respect, indiscrimination, these are very important aspects in our life for development. So development for a woman means that she should get a job, she should get a respect, she should get a acceptance in a family, she should have a decision in the family. So in this way we can see that a woman have some different aspects for development when we compare her with a male member. So in this way we can see that the development means a different for different people in a society. Now we have the topic how to compare different countries or states to compare whether they are developed or not. So for this comparison, first of all we have to think what is the purpose of our comparison. Whether to find out if a country is rich or poor. If they are rich, then in what sense they are rich, whether the people are healthy, whether they are educated, where the child mortality rate is less or more. So in this way, that is what is our purpose of comparison. Now income of a state. What is the income of a state? The total income of all the individual in a state is called the income of a state. Now we have average income. If we divide the total income of a state or a country and we can divide it with the total population, we will get average income. On the basis of this, if the annual income which was taken in 2016 by the World Bank, if the income is US dollar 12,236 and more per annum, then the country is developed. And if it is US dollar 1005 or it is less than this per annum, then the country will be considered as undeveloped country. So on this basis, let us find out how we can say that a certain state or certain country is developed or undeveloped. A decade ago, India was considered as poor country, but now it is a fast growing country. Now per capita income of India has also increased and it is growing very fast. Some countries of Asia like Nepal and Africa, these countries are considered as poor countries because the per capita income is less for those countries. Now we will tell you how the per capita income or average income of a country can't give us the clear picture. It is going to hide a lot of things which we are going to find out and which can be considered as aspects for development. So let us see a table and we can find out. Now students, we can open page number 19 and see table 2, comparison of two countries. So we can see country A and country B. So I have also drawn this table on the board to show you. Now country A and country B, suppose there are 5 people living in the country. So in country A, I can see people 1 is earning 9500, and second people is earning 10500, that is 10,500. Third people is earning 9800. Fourth people is earning 10,000. Fifth people is earning 10,200, and the average is 10,000. So it is more or less same for all the 5 people living in country A. Now country B, we can see that people 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 people are earning only 500, 500, 500 and 500 per annum. And the fifth people is earning 48,000. And the average is showing you the same 10,000 each people. So is this average giving us the clear picture of a country, of 2 countries? By showing this table, we can see that both the countries are developed countries. But actually, both are not developed. Country A is better and country B is not good. Because in country A, all the people are earning more or less same. So they all are getting more or less same comfort. But in country B, we can see that the fifth people has all the comfort of life, financial and other aspects, because money is the main thing to have an access for all the comfort. And when the money is not there, people are not reaching all the comfort in their life. So we can see that country B is not developed, and I would certainly want to live in country A. Now children, textbook page number 20. It is shown by the picture. Now in country A, we can see all the 5 people are sitting on the chair and they are adjusting. In the country B, we can see that one person who is very rich is occupying the 4 chairs, and in one chair the other 4 members are sitting. That means the country's wealth is not equally distributed in country B, whereas in country A it is equally distributed. Students, as I have told you, that income can't alone be considered as the main criteria of development. There are other aspects also for development. There are many other aspects which can be considered in the development, in measuring the development. So let us see in our textbook. Here in page number 20, I will show you. Now we have been given in table 3 in our textbook page number 20, 3 states: Haryana, Himachal Pradesh and Bihar. Per capita GSDP, per capita income, that is taken in 2016 and 17 in rupees lakhs, that is 2.15. It is 2.15 for Haryana, and Himachal Pradesh 1.82 and Bihar 0.66. That is very less. Per capita income is very less in Bihar, and Haryana it is very high, and Himachal Pradesh it is medium. Now per capita GSDP ranking in 2016 and 17. Haryana was ranked 7th, Himachal Pradesh 12th and Bihar 33. If we consider per capita, the ranking of Haryana was very high, that is it is only 7, and Himachal Pradesh 12 and Bihar coming to the last, that is 33. Now human development rank. So when we see the human development rank, we see Haryana on the 9th place, Himachal Pradesh on the 3rd place, that is very good, and Bihar on the 21st, that is very last. Then we can raise a question. Haryana per capita income is very high and the GSDP ranking is also very high. Then why the human development ranking is less for Haryana and more for Himachal Pradesh, where the Himachal Pradesh has less per capita income than Haryana? So we can analyze this data. Children, when we talk about development, we are not considering only for financial development. We are considering the other criterion like infant mortality rate, literacy rate, and the number of attendance in the school. So all these criterion are included in human development. So let us see this criterion for all these three states, that is Himachal Pradesh, Haryana and Bihar, in our textbook. In our textbook, page number 21, we can see Haryana's infant mortality rate per thousand in 2016 was 33, and for Himachal Pradesh it was 25, and for Bihar it was 38. IMR means infant mortality rate. Now come to literacy. In percentage, in 2011, Haryana had 77, Himachal Pradesh 84 and Bihar 64. Now come to the net attendance ratio for secondary stage, that is 2013 and 14. The net attendance for children in a school was 61 for Haryana, 67 for Himachal Pradesh and 43 for Bihar. So why that difference is there when Haryana's per capita income is higher than Himachal Pradesh? Then why the other aspects of development is less in Haryana and more in Himachal Pradesh? Though Himachal Pradesh is a hilly region, yet it is developed compared to Haryana and other states in India. What is the reason? So as I have told you, students, Himachal Pradesh is a hilly region, and per capita income of Himachal Pradesh is also less than Haryana, but yet the other aspects of development is more in Himachal Pradesh than in Haryana. What is the reason? There are multiple reasons. First of all, the mindset of the people. The people of Himachal Pradesh are very industrious and very high aspirations for their individual life and individual progress. And it was the effort of the government also. The government took an initiative to open school along with the people of Haryana. The people of Himachal Pradesh, especially women, they likely to make their girl child educated. They are working outside, and they want that their daughter should also get education and be independent. So they compulsory make their daughter to complete school education as well as higher secondary education also. So this is the aspiration of the mother to make her daughter educated and be independent. And they are earning money, so they can take a decision in family matters. They have greater acceptance in a family and in a society compared to other state. Whereas in Haryana, the girl is considered as a burden, and the mindset of the people is also like that. They prefer boys, and they invest more in boys than on girls. They don't want their girls to be highly educated and independent, and that's why they have not given the women much right and freedom in their society. So this is also a main reason why in Himachal Pradesh the girls are more educated and they are independent, and the infant mortality rate is also less in Himachal Pradesh compared to other states like Haryana and Bihar. So it is the joint effort of Himachal Pradesh government and the people as well. The government of Himachal Pradesh invested 2005 rupees per child, whereas the other states invested only 1049 rupees per child. So we can see that Haryana government is also very interested and very cooperative, and they are very alert in the matter of education, especially for the girl child. There is one experience shared by a girl named Neha in our textbook. What she is telling, that her school is very good and the teachers are very good. Many students are attending schools. They are never getting absent, and they are getting all the facilities like toilet, pure drinking water in school, and the school is also very nearby from her house. So she is not facing any difficulty in going to school, and at the same time she is enjoying at the school because she has freedom, equality indiscrimination and respect in school. In this way we can see that it is the mindset of the people which matters for development along with the government's effort to make a certain place or a state developed. Now students, let us open page number 23 in our textbook. We have a data that was given in 2017 by the World Human Development Report given by World Bank. Human Development Report given by World Bank in 2017. So how much India is developed and compared to its neighboring countries, or whether the neighboring countries are more developed than India. Now take an example of Sri Lanka. Per capita income of Sri Lanka in US dollar is 11,326. India 6,386, much lower than Sri Lanka. Pakistan 5,331, Myanmar 5,567, Bangladesh 3,677, Nepal 2,471. Now in this way we can see life expectancy at birth, that how many people are going to survive after birth. So it is also for India, Pakistan, Myanmar, it is almost same. Bangladesh have high life expectancy than India. Nepal also have greater, and Sri Lanka have also greater in this field. Now literacy rate. Which country has the highest literacy rate? We can see Sri Lanka. And India have 74. Pakistan have 60, less than India. Myanmar 93, more than India. And Bangladesh and Nepal is little bit lagging behind India. Now Human Development Index. So by considering all these aspects, that is per capita income, life expectancy and literacy rate, if we compare all these things, we can see that Sri Lanka is on 76th rank. When we consider Human Development Index, India is on 130 and Pakistan is 150, Myanmar 148, Bangladesh 136 and Nepal 149. Now on this basis of this report, we can see that Sri Lanka is much more developed than India. Now on the same page, students, we have given a world map, and it is shaded with different colors like dark purple, light blue, very light blue and white. So the places which are very dark, they are very highly developed. That is North America and South America, southern part, Europe. These countries are very developed, highly developed. And high developed, that is less than highly developed, is Mexico. We can see the northern part of South America and Asia, northern part of Asia. These countries are high, and medium is India, China, Japan, and few countries in South America and South Africa. These countries are medium. And the white part, that is some countries in Africa continent, they are very low developed, and some countries we have no data. Australia is also coming in high developed countries, very high developed countries. So we can see by seeing the world map that some countries in North America and South America and Europe, Australia, they are very developed, highly developed, and some countries in Asia and Mexico and northern part of South America, they are high, and some countries are medium and some are very low. So we have studied all the table given in our textbook. On the basis of these tables, we have come to know that development is different for different people. It is not fixed, and it can't be measured. That can't be measured in the financial aspect. That is also very important in our life. Like along with the financial development, we want development in the social life also. That is, we want development that is freedom, security, respect, indiscrimination. These are also aspects that we need when we count development. So there are different aspects of development, and there are different aspects of human development index that it should include infant mortality rate, literacy rate, attendance in school, and public facilities. These are also very important when we count development. So money itself can't be considered as the factor of development, because if you have money in your pocket, you can't buy fresh air, you can't buy pure water, you can't live in an environment which is very free and without discrimination. So all these things depend on the mind and mentality and mind setup of people living in that particular society. So which can't be buy with the money, that is also that may be also very important. Not maybe, we can see that they are also very important when we count development. In this way we have understood the ideas of development. Hope you all have liked my video. Please do watch the video, share with your friend, and like and subscribe my channel. We will continue our next lesson in our next video. Till then, thank you. Goodbye children.